Big Ben on his podcast recently made some questionable comments and controversial comments about Lamar's ability to throw in the context of the Ravens acquiring OBJ. This is what Big Ben had to say.
With Lamar, you want to bring safeties down to help stop the run, because you don't really fear Lamar's arm, his accuracy all the time.
Sure,
he's got a huge arm; he can make things happen when he scrambles and whatever. But you don't fear him just sitting in the pocket and picking you apart. So you can bring safeties down because you do fear him running, because he's a different level runner. So you fear that. Yeah. So you bring safeties down. But now, if you got that guy on the outside, you better put a safety back, or it's one-on-one. You can just throw it to him. So it definitely creates some potential opportunities for that offense and for Lamar to run if he has to, or to take those big shots down the field if he needs to, if they're bringing the safeties down.
I just want to know your first thoughts before I jump into this, because I do want to start. I just want to know your initial thoughts about Big Ben's comment.
Well, I mean, he's kind of intimating that Lamar can't throw the deep ball, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that nobody fears that if he's in the pocket and looking down the field. They're not worried that he's going to complete one long. Okay?
Right.
And, having Roethlisberger say that, well, that was his thing, right? He threw it deep about every other play. And he had some success doing that. So,
right.
He's kind of comparing himself to Lamar, saying, I'm a better deep ball player than
maybe. It could be that
something in there about that.
It could be the AFC North rivalry, Steelers, Ravens. It could be that. Could be that.
But I think my thought on it is, it's not really clear whether Lamar can throw the deep ball or not, because their offense was not geared around that. He didn't have that many opportunities to throw it long because they just didn't do it. And number two, they didn't have anybody to throw it too long. They didn't really have any elite receivers. With OBJ there, that's a different level of talent. And maybe Lamar, maybe that's what they're thinking about. And I think that's a smart strategy, right? It changes the dynamic of the game when you do have to worry about an elite deep ball threat. And I think Lamar is very capable of getting the ball to him deep.
I want to jump in on this because I agree with Big Ben. Lamar, it's the same thing with Kyler Murray. His entire aura, his specialty, is based on his legs. If his legs go, he's done. His career is essentially over. The Ravens, and there's a reason why the Ravens, people said, oh, he got no wide receiver talent. First of all, no wide receiver would even want to go there. We've talked about that sometimes, talk about Lamar's contract. No receiver wants to go there because they can make about the same, if they're a young player trying to get to a team, they would probably go to a team other than the Ravens, because when that short contract ends, the opportunity for a bigger payday is with any other team besides the Ravens. Because the Ravens are a run-first team. And that's strictly based on Lamar's specialty. There's nothing wrong with saying that Lamar, his one thing is running the ball. That's perfectly fine to say. And he's right. No one fears Lamar picking him apart, or picking the other teams apart when he's in the pocket. Now, I know people are going to come at me and say, well, he's the number one passer rating in the pocket, the number one QBR in the pocket. First of all, I saw a lot of people comparing Big Ben to Lamar. They're two completely separate players in two completely separate eras. You can't compare a guy who was brought up with Jerome Bettis and just a great Steelers defense and a great run game. And Big Ben he played with Hines Ward. He had Santonio Holmes.
He played a long time. He played with a lot of different kinds of offenses.
Right.
They had years when they were running the ball a lot, and then they had years where he was just heaving it.
Correct. Yeah. And recently, in 2018, I believe, he was 36 years old. He threw for almost 5,200 yards. There's nothing wrong with saying this. In fact, I sort of believe it. If we take a look strictly at quarterbacks, here's the thing. People get at me for only relying on stats. So let's not talk about stats. Let's talk about strictly eye test ability to throw the football. So receivers, I'm going to say, are irrelevant. Just how accurate are you throwing it to whoever? Me and you? Someone else, someone random picked off the street? Quarterback's ability to throw the football. You tell me. I'm going to go down some quarterbacks. whether or not these quarterbacks, I would probably take their ability to throw the football over Lamar. You say you agree with me or not? Josh Allen.
Better than Lamar?
Yeah. Would you take Josh Allen's ability? No, just ability to throw the football, accuracy, short, middle, deep. His ability to throw the football, arm strength.
I don't know about Josh Allen. He throws a lot of picks in the red zone.
Well, that's recently.
Yeah, well, his first couple of years in the league, he threw a lot of picks too. I say that's a toss-up between those two.
He has a cannon, though. Lamar doesn't have a cannon.
Lamar can throw the deep ball.
Okay, well, so you disagree with me.
That's okay. So who's next?
A healthy Tua.
Again, I think it's a toss-up.
We saw what Tua was before he got concussed 3 times, and he looked pretty damn good.
Maybe he's a little bit of a plus.
Joe Burrow.
He's a plus.
Trevor Lawrence.
Nah, I don't think so.
Ooh, no, I think you're wrong there. Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to say, obviously.
So
Justin Herbert. Come on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Russell Wilson. Now, I know people are going to say he had a horrible season. We got to remember, he was one of the, I think he has the highest passer rating in NFL history for his first 9 years. He has over 100 passer rating.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's throwing it to Doug Baldwin.
Again, Lamar hasn't had a chance to really throw the ball.
No, we're just talking about just ability, accuracy.
I don't know.
Talent.
I don't know what Lamar's capable of doing.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Not a big enough sample size with him.
We're doing with the sample size we have.
Okay.
Ability to throw the ball. I would take Jalen Hurts.
Maybe he's a little bit ahead of Lamar.
People are going to disagree with me. I'm going to bring up this stat. This guy completes almost 67%. The next 2 guys complete almost 67% of their passes. Dak Prescott.
I give Lamar over him.
Okay, fair. Kirk Cousins. He has, I think it's 66.9% completion percentage.
Yeah.
So he's accurate.
I'd probably give him just a hair over Lamar.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is probably his. Yeah.
He doesn't throw the ball deep that often, though.
He used to. Now he's strictly a pocket passer. Derek Carr.
I'd say it's a toss-up.
I'll give you that. Matt Stafford.
Give Lamar.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford. He didn't play at all. He didn't play well at all last year.
Well, he was dealing with injuries his entire offensive core.
He throws a lot of interceptions.
I mean, he played for the Lions for 10 years. So you got to a little bit slack. And then finally, people are going to disagree with me. This guy has a rocket for an arm. Kyler Murray has a literal rocket. Now we have recency bias because he played horrible this past year and got hurt.
I think that's a toss-up.
So I have about 12, 13 quarterbacks that I would put arm talent-wise ahead of Lamar Jackson.
You're probably right.
So that means he's slightly above average in arm talent. Now we can go about who he doesn't have. First of all, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, was a 1,000-yard receiver. So you can't say he has nobody. He has a 1,000-yard receiver. And people bring up his drops. He wasn't even close. Every single year he was with Lamar. Not even close to the most drops in the league.
Hollywood Brown better. Maybe he made Hollywood Brown better.
He went to Kyler Murray, who no one respects anymore. I guarantee you.
How did he do when he went to the Cardinals?
He was dealing with an injury, but based on his yards per game, he would have had over 1,000 yards again. He had 700, I believe, 8 yards this season, playing 12 games, starting 10 of them. So he would have had another 1,000-yard season because he averaged about 59.1 yards per game. So he would have had another 1,000 yards. Hollywood Brown, people had a drop issue, yeah, but he never he wasn't even near the league lead in drops. Devontae Adams led the league in that category a couple times. No one says anything about him. Now, I didn't put Jimmy G here because I would take Lamar 50 times over Jimmy G. And people are going to say his running ability. That's what I'm saying. Lamar his athleticism is number 1 in the league. But his
athleticism opens up the passing game for him too. I mean, when he's back there running around, that makes it harder on the defensive backs to cover the receivers. And I think he's completed a lot of passes because he was back there.
A lot of passes. He averages 24 attempts a game. That's terrible. 24 pass attempts. He averages.
But all those attempts,
16 completions about. 15, 16 completions.
So I bet half of those completions are not pocket. They're not in the pocket. I bet he's on the run when he throws the ball.
He very well could be.
Yeah. I don't know that for a fact.
And here's another thing. We say, oh yeah, but what about in-game? How about you show some actual facts? Look at the Bucs-Ravens game just this past year. The first half, they threw it significantly more than running the ball. They were losing 10-3 to that Bucs team that went 8-9 and looked horrible. They ran the ball in the second half. They took care of the Bucs. So his ability to throw the ball against a defense that was very lackluster this past season in the Bucs defense, and an offense that couldn't move the ball in the Bucs offense with Tom Brady, he was losing 10-3 when they primarily threw the ball. So I don't want to hear it. Like that's the most recent observation that we have of the Ravens trying to say, hey, Lamar, your objective is to primarily throw the football, and they were losing 10-3. Didn't even put up a touchdown, put up a field goal. So I don't necessarily disagree with Big Ben, because I don't think, defensive coordinators and head coaches are not going and saying, okay, we need to take away Lamar's ability to throw. Let's get significant pressure. They're like, we have to contain him in the pocket so he doesn't run and beat us that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Call it a hot take if you will, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I hope I am. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.